moment ago, we talked about civil war. Some people might say that's crazy. Fine. If you think it's crazy, by all means, you can think whatever you want. I must be crazy. I don't care. On major networks, will they talk about this? Probably not. Some of them, maybe. We recently saw MSNBC actually run a segment that said, could we be facing a second American Civil War? Now, this is a conversation that's been in mainstream newspapers for years. But see, on this show, we're willing to talk about this from Fox News. Arrest Fauci trends on Twitter as doctor faces criticism for controversial virus research testing on dogs. I think there's only one cable TV show that would actually get more serious than us. And do you know who that is? Would you have a guess? One cable TV
Greg
show.
Gutfeld.
Yeah, he's pretty good, but no.
That's kind of a
Tucker
joke.
Carlson?
Tucker Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker Carlson goes a lot further than
Goes
I
hard.
would, on a lot of these issues. So when we talk about Fauci and people wanting him to be arrested and stuff, we'll talk about these ideas. We'll talk about the potential conflict or civil war. Tucker goes all in on all of it. So that's why I think obviously his ratings are so high. And then why is it that all these other networks ratings are in the garbage? Because it's fake and everyone knows it's fake and they're not talking about real things. You go outside, there's no food on the shelves at your store. You're asking yourself, what's going on? You turn on CNN, nothing. Orange Man bad. You turn on MSNBC, nothing. Orange Man bad. You turn on Fox and they're like, inflation's bad and it's Biden's fault.
Or worse, and you open up the Washington Post and it's lower your expectations.
Right.
Why would I expect there to be pasta and frozen vegetables in my local grocery store? Both of which they've been like running low on forever now.
Yeah.
It's really something.
But let's talk about this arrest Fauci thing, because I don't know if Fauci should be arrested over this. There's a story going around where it shows two dogs, they're beagles, and their heads are secured in a box full of infected sandflies, and the dogs had their vocal cords slit, so they couldn't bark or whimper as their faces were devoured by ravenous insects. Now, a lot of people are saying he should be arrested for it, and I think there's a couple things that are good here. People are starting to wake up to the kind of research being done for their benefit, for their privileges. A lot of this research is unnecessary and insane, and people are asking, like, why would you do that? We know the flies would devour the face of the dog and put it in agony. But I think a lot of people need to realize the benefits, the wonderful technology, the medicines you have. It's because we experiment on animals, sometimes dogs.
Yeah, and actually specifically with sandflies, I don't know exactly what they were researching with sandflies, but with sandflies, they're major carriers of parasitic diseases, which are one of the few things that we really have terrible treatments for. Like there's this disease called leishmaniasis that's very prominent in Central and South America that does like horrible things to people. Like it literally like rots your face from the inside out. And because it primarily affects poor people in these areas, it's only government testing that there's really an incentive to find any sort of cure, because the pharmaceutical companies aren't in it because there's no, financial incentive for it. So yeah, I mean, actually, I don't know exactly what they were doing with the sandflies, but I can see where doing, research on parasitic diseases for all the havoc it wreaks, testing on dogs might be necessary. A good friend of mine from high school is a biology professor at UT Austin, and he talked not biology, what is he, neurology professor, and he would tell me all the stories he had to do, the stories of all the experiments he had to do in monkeys and stuff. I mean, it's just absolutely necessary for the advancement of humanity, if you care about that sort of thing. Now, as for lying to Congress, that's something that maybe we should talk about.
This reminds me of
Fauci.
Andrew Cuomo, how they went after him for him diddling with the girls as opposed to sending all those old people into nursing homes. And it's it evokes the emotional hashtag trending thing, but like what he really should be busted for is lying to Congress.
Well, if it's what you said it was, there at least should be a debate. But we shouldn't be giving him the benefit of the doubt, because he doesn't deserve any of it, because he's been lying through his teeth about so many things. And at least we deserve answers to really find out what was the true cause and the true reason of these studies. I mean, there's even reports of Fauci-funded experiments that literally were used to destroy portions of monkeys' brain that would magnify terror, so they could scare the crap out of them and study fear. So there's so many different.
I wonder why they would do that. Like,
yes.
What are they trying to learn about primate fear?
Exactly. And again, apes are 97% identical to human DNA. There's a lot of weird stuff happening, and there should be a lot more transparency, a lot more accountability, because we have to understand there's some, beauty products that are tested in absolutely cruel and inhumane ways, torture animals. We can't even describe what happens here. The show would get taken down immediately, all for beauty products. Like that, there should be a line, there should be a discussion, there should be more information. We don't have any of that. We have Dr. Fauci financing essentially the torturing of puppies. Why he did it, at this point of view, we don't know, but I'm willing to suspect something far more sinister, something far more worse based on his prior behavior from my own personal perspective.